Welcome to our channel. Today, we pause to remember a life that touched hearts and left a lasting impact. We'll explore their journey, the challenges they faced, and the moments that made them unforgettable. Join us as we honor their story, celebrate their legacy, and reflect on the memories that will continue to inspire and live on in the hearts of those who knew them. Tragic news was confirmed in Philadelphia, as the city said goodbye to one of its most colorful and devoted artists. Isaiah Zagar, the man who turned broken tiles and shattered mirrors into living stories, has passed away. For decades, his art covered the walls of South Street. Today, those walls feel quieter. For more than 60 years, Zagar transformed ordinary spaces into places of wonder. He created over 200 mosaic murals across the city. Each one was filled with color, words, and pieces of glass that caught the sunlight. His work did not simply decorate the streets. It changed them. Born in 1939, Zagar studied art in his early years and later found his creative home in Philadelphia. He believed that art belonged to everyone, not only inside museums. With patience and passion, he began covering walls with tiles, bottles, mirrors, and handmade pieces of clay. What some saw as rubble, he saw as possibility. His most famous creation became Philadelphia's Magic Gardens. Built over many years, it stands as a maze of mosaics, tunnels, and sparkling walls. Visitors from around the world walked through it in awe. Children touched the tiles. Artists found inspiration. Locals found pride. Neighbors remember how he worked day after day, often in silence. He climbed ladders, pressed tiles into wet cement, and shaped stories into stone. He once said that art helped him heal. In many ways, it helped heal the city too. During difficult times, including economic struggles in parts of South Street, his murals brought life back to fading buildings. They turned empty walls into landmarks. They made people stop and look closer. In a statement released after his passing, a representative of Magic Gardens shared, Isaiah believed art could save spaces and spirits. His vision changed Philadelphia forever. A longtime friend told reporters, he didn't just build mosaics. He built community. On social media, one visitor wrote, "Walking through his gardens felt like stepping inside someone's heart." As news of his death spread, tributes poured in from artists and city leaders. Many called him a pioneer of public art. Others described him as gentle, focused, and deeply committed to his craft. Zagar never chased fame in the traditional sense. He did not seek bright lights or large stages. His stage was the city itself. His spotlight was the sun reflecting off glass. There were moments when his work faced challenges. At times, murals were threatened by development or damage. Yet supporters rallied to protect them. The community understood their value. They were not just decorations. They were memories set in stone. Through the decades, his art told stories of struggle and hope. Some murals included personal messages. Others honored global cultures and local voices. All of them carried his signature style, layered, bold, and full of emotion. Visitors often described a feeling of connection while standing before his work. The broken pieces seemed to come together in harmony. It was as if he was reminding the world that even shattered things can become beautiful. City officials expressed their sorrow, noting that his impact would live on for generations. Isaiah Zagar gave Philadelphia a gift that cannot be measured, one statement read. His creativity will continue to inspire. Even in his later years, he remained dedicated to his art. He could still be seen walking through the gardens, adjusting a tile, studying a wall, imagining what could be added next. For him, the work was never truly finished. Now, the hands that shaped so many walls have come to rest. but the colors remain. The mirrors still reflect the sky. The pathways he built still guide visitors through wonder and reflection. In neighborhoods once overlooked, his mosaics stand as proof that imagination can transform reality. They remind the city of its strength, its resilience, and its beauty. Isaiah Zagar leaves behind more than murals. He leaves behind a living museum woven into the streets of Philadelphia. His art will continue to catch the light, to tell silent stories, and to bring strangers together in shared admiration. Though the artist is gone, the walls still speak. And in every piece of glass, in every carefully placed tile, his spirit will be remembered, not only as a creator of mosaics, but as a man who turned broken fragments into lasting beauty. The lights on familiar television sets feel a little dimmer tonight. Tragic news was confirmed that Dane, the actor known for his charm, intensity, and emotional depth, has passed away. For millions of viewers, he was more than a character on a screen. He was a presence that felt real. Dane rose to worldwide fame through his role as Dr. Mark Sloan on Grey's Anatomy. Introduced as confident and bold, his character quickly became one of the show's most loved figures. Beneath the sharp smile and steady voice, there was vulnerability. Audiences saw a man learning from mistakes, loving deeply, and facing loss. Week after week, his performance brought emotion into hospital hallways. He portrayed strength, but also fear. Pride, but also regret. It was this balance that made his character feel human. Fans often referred to him as McSteamy, a nickname that became part of pop culture. Yet behind the playful title was an actor fully committed to his craft. He gave his character heart. After leaving Grey's Anatomy, Dane continued to evolve. In HBO's Euphoria, he took on a darker and more complex role. As Cal Jacobs, he showed a different side, one filled with conflict and hidden pain. Critics praised his performance for its honesty. A television producer once said, "Eric had a rare ability to show strength and sadness in the same moment." That quiet emotional power became his signature. Born in San Francisco, Dane discovered acting at a young age. He worked steadily in television before his breakout role. Early appearances built his experience. But it was Grey's Anatomy that made him a household name. Over the years, he also appeared in films, proving he could move between genres. Whether on the big screen or the small screen, he carried the same steady presence. Directors described him as focused and generous with fellow actors. As news of his passing spread, tributes came quickly. Former co-stars shared memories of long days on set and shared laughter between scenes. One cast member wrote, "Eric brought light to every room. He was kind, funny, and deeply professional." Fans filled social media with messages of gratitude. "Mark Sloan helped me through difficult times," one viewer shared. Eric made him feel real. That mattered. In interviews, Dane had spoken openly about personal struggles and growth. He did not hide his challenges. Instead, he faced them with honesty. That openness made him relatable to many. He understood that fame came with pressure. Yet he remained grounded in his love for storytelling. Acting, for him, was not only about attention. It was about connection. Television drama changed during his career. Characters became more layered. Stories became more complex. Dane stood at the center of that shift. He helped redefine the image of the modern leading man, strong, yet flawed. Confident, yet searching. His work continues to stream into homes around the world. New viewers will still discover Dr. Sloan's journey. Others will revisit old episodes, remembering where they were when certain scenes first aired. The hospital corridors, the dramatic music, the emotional goodbyes, they now carry a deeper meaning. Though his life has ended, the stories he helped tell remain. They live in reruns and digital libraries. They live in the hearts of fans who grew up watching him. Dane will be remembered not only for his talent, but for the humanity he brought to his roles. In every scene, he searched for truth. And in that search, he gave audiences characters they will never forget. As screens continue to glow in living rooms around the world, his presence will endure, steady, complex, and deeply human. In the quiet halls of New Orleans, flags were lowered and classrooms paused in reflection. Tragic news was confirmed that Norman C. Francis, one of America's most respected educators, has passed away. For nearly half a century, his leadership shaped not only a university, but thousands of lives. Norman C. Francis served as president of Xavier University of Louisiana for almost 5 decades. His tenure became one of the longest in American higher education history. Through times of national change and local crisis, he stood steady. Born in Louisiana, Francis understood early the power of education. He believed that classrooms could open doors that society had long kept closed. That belief guided his life's work. When he became president of Xavier in 1968, the country was in the middle of the civil rights movement. Tension and uncertainty filled many communities. Yet on his campus, he worked to build unity and opportunity. He focused on expanding access to higher education for African American students. Under his leadership, Xavier became known for sending large numbers of graduates to medical and pharmacy schools. For many families, it meant the first doctor or pharmacist in their history. A former student once said, "Dr. Francis made us believe we belonged in every room we entered." That quiet confidence became part of his legacy. His leadership was tested again in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans. The storm flooded much of the city, including parts of the Xavier campus. Buildings were damaged. Classes were suspended. The future seemed uncertain. But Francis did not step away. He worked tirelessly to rebuild the university. He secured funding, reassured families, and encouraged students to return. Within months, classes resumed. The campus slowly came back to life. In a statement released after his passing, the university shared, "Dr. Francis guided Xavier with wisdom, faith, and courage. His vision carried us through our darkest days." National leaders also recognized his impact. Over the years, he served on presidential commissions and advisory boards. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, one of the nation's highest honors. Yet those who knew him often described him as humble. A colleague reflected, "He never sought attention. He sought progress." Francis believed education was more than degrees and diplomas. He saw it as a path to dignity. He encouraged students to serve their communities and lift others as they rose. His speeches were calm but powerful. He spoke about responsibility, hope, and faith in the future. He reminded young people that their success carried meaning beyond themselves. For nearly 50 years, he walked the same campus paths. He greeted students by name. He attended graduations with pride. He understood that leadership was not only about policy, but presence. As news of his passing spread, alumni shared memories of his steady guidance. Many described him as a father figure. Others remembered the simple advice he offered during difficult times. Even after stepping down as president, his influence remained strong. The buildings he helped rebuild still stand. The programs he strengthened continue to grow. Norman C. Francis leaves behind a university transformed by resilience. He leaves behind generations of graduates who now serve as doctors, teachers, leaders, and public servants. His life was not defined by headlines, but by steady commitment. Through civil rights struggles and natural disaster, he remained a symbol of hope. In classrooms across New Orleans and beyond, his impact will continue to be felt. In every student who believed in their own future because he believed in them first, his legacy lives on. Norman C. Francis will be remembered as an educator who rebuilt more than buildings. He rebuilt confidence, opportunity, and faith in what education can achieve. And in the quiet strength of his example, his memory will endure.